which has various facilities provided to students with good placement records. Coming to our department, the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering is committed to providing quality professional education to aspiring engineers. The mission of the department is to facilitate young engineers to acquire technical exposure in the areas of electronics and communication, nurture career improvement, and develop human and social intellectual qualities necessary for the successful practice of the profession. The department has an annual intake of 120 students. The department has well experienced and dedicated faculty members and aims to impart sound knowledge and awareness to the latest trends in the field of electronics and communication engineering. The department provides the students with the necessary and sufficient backing of practical knowledge, besides encouraging them to try out their innovative research and development ideas. The department has consistently achieved remarkable results. Experts from the industries are periodically invited to give lectures, webinars, seminars, demonstrations, hands-on training to the students on the latest developments in the field. The students are given exposure to industries by industrial visits and industrial training sessions. The department is in the up with various core industries for providing latest technologies and skill-based support to our students.
ఇప్పుడు నేను బయట ఉన్నాను, ఎవరు లేరు ఇంట్లో. 10 నిమిషాలు అయితే వస్తారు, 11:20కి వస్తారు.
To make this day more memorable one. Thank you one and all.
Thank you,
madam.
Electronics and Communication Engineering Departments.
Thank you, madam, for the brief about our college and department. Now it's my honor to introduce our today's resource person, Mr. Gautam Mane, lead consultant, RPA consultant, and having with a vast experience of 10 years in IT industry with hands-on experience on automation in HP, UFT, Selenium, and HP load runner. He's a certified trainer in various testing tools in manual testing, ISTQB certified tester. He's also a RPA Blueprint accredited developer. He's also a UiPath RPA Developer Foundation certified with the diploma certification. And he trained more than 5,000 plus associates in various RPA tools like Blueprint, UiPath, and automation. And he trained associates on HP, UFT, Selenium, and load runner, and SOPUI automation tools, and got deployed in billable roles. He's trained more than 2,000 plus associates to certify on RPA tools and ISTQB testing. So we welcome you, sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation, and thank you for coming here. Now I request Mr. Gautam Mane, sir, to start the session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rupa Kumar, for introducing me to the College of Pallavi Engineering, Hyderabad. So today, we'll talk about one of the most emerging platform, which is called robotic process automation. But before we talk about this, let me introduce myself again. It is not the full introduction. I'll just give a brief introduction about myself. You know, I work for one of the reputed IT organization in Hyderabad since 2010 as a lead RPA consultant. I have around 10 years of experience
other
in
participants are
terms
getting.
of both development as well delivering trainings on various automation.
Once exit and rejoin, sir. Well, I'll try to rectify
and
my
which,
side.
you know,
Okay, you can join even in the
have,
YouTube, sir.
hands-on
I've shared the link
experience
also. You can join
on
even in the YouTube.
RPA platform.
Right.
In that, I am expertise in Blue Prism, Automation Anywhere, UiPath. Also, apart from these RPA space, I used to work on various test automation tools in which Selenium, UFT, load runner, and many other testing tools. Also, I am a certified RPA developer of Blue Prism, Automation Anywhere, and UiPath. Apart from development career, I do also provide trainings on various RPA platforms, and I have trained more than 5,000 students as well associates in various RPA platforms. All right, today I welcome to all the dignitary professors and students of Pallavi Engineering College for the most exciting platform of robotic process automation. I request all the participants to keep the microphone on mute till end of the session to avoid all such type of noises. I request once again to all the participants to keep on mute. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for understanding me. All right. Before I move into this RPA platform, let me take a few questions to all the students. Is anybody heard about robotic process automation platform? Do you aware of this? Is anybody have explored on RPA platform before you attend this call? I want quick responses from the audience. You can post your responses in the chat window, and also you can post your questions towards end of this session, and I'll address all your questions at end of our call. All right. So I could see some of the responses in the chat window, and people are stating that no, you haven't explored on RPA platform. But this is not the best practice to all the students. I always recommended to all the participants to explore at least a few things on the topic which we will discuss in the next session or next call. All right, I accept it today, but it is not a best practice. Like before you attend any call or any training in the future, you must explore at least a few things on Google or on internet to understand the basic structure of that particular platform. All right, not a problem. So today I'll brief you on this robotic process automation, and I'll try to enable all the faculties and students to understand the concept of robotic process automation. All right, once again, it's a warm welcome to all of you for this robotic process automation platform, in which I would like to talk about the brief introductory points of RPA platform. And what is the agenda of this call today? Like what all topics or contents you can understand from this call today. Let me show you the agenda of this call. I would like to talk about the history of RPA platform, in which we'll concentrate on introduction to RPA and its overview. After that, we'll focus on which work processes can be automated and RPA benefits and limitations, RPA versus test automation tools, and where you can find RPA. Also, we'll understand what are different RPA tools available in the markets and differences among RPA tools. And last but not the least is on RPA lifecycle. Right. Let me quickly start with introductory points to RPA plan. Before we understand the history of RPA, let me tell you the prerequisites to attend this call to upskill yourself on RPA platform. Now, there are two prerequisites. One is the basic knowledge of programming is enough to understand robotic process automation. Any of the programming technology. I would say you should have a programming skills on Java or a .NET. Any of the programming skills is quite enough to understand or to upskill yourself on robotic process automation. That is the first prerequisite. The second one is you should also have a basic idea on end-to-end business process workflow. I will guide you what is a business process workflow during this call. But basically, whenever you would like to upskill yourself on RPA platform, you should have these two skills. One is a basic idea on programming skills, as well basic idea on end-to-end business process work. The next one, who should attend this call? I could say that this is not restricted to a particular professionals. It is open to everybody. This is not to only a software professionals. Even if you would like to make a career on RPA after you complete your BTech, then you can happily attend the trainings and you can happily upskill yourself on RPA platform. This is not restricted to specific professionals. So that I could say people who are into IT, in which developers, testers, HRs, anybody who wants to make a career on RPA platform, they can happily attend this training. Apart from IT background, people are into different areas. Let's say professionals are into BPO sector, business process operations, BPO organizations. I hope you aware of these organizations, right? A call center organizations. Okay, people who are into a call center organizations like BPO executives or BPO managers can also upskill themselves on RPA. And finance professionals, healthcare professionals, banking professionals, supply chain management professionals, anybody, even professors of engineering college or students of engineering college can also upskill yourself on RPA platform. And why should I say this is to open to all the professionals? Because in next 10 years, 10 to 15 years, we have a scope on RPA platform. After you complete your BTech, if you select IT, in which if you would like to, make a career on RPA platform, there is a lot of scope for next 10 to 15 years. The thing is, you should understand that what is the emerging platform we have in the market. I understand that people have joined from computer science as well electronics, communication engineering backgrounds. So I request all the participants who wants to make a career in RPA platform, then happily you can select this because there is a lot of scope on this RPA platform for next 10 to 15 years. Now let's move into introduction and its overview. You know, robotic process automation is one of the most exciting, one of the most emerging and powerful platforms. Why do I stress these three typical words? Let's say I pronounce that it as exciting and emerging and powerful platform. Why it is exciting in the market? Most of the organizations are working on RPA in this point of time. Most of the organization, irrespective of any background, irrespective of any domain, it may be IT or it may be finance or it may be a banking or it may be healthcare. Everywhere you could see RPA platform into the picture. Why? Why I would say that it is most exciting and emerging platform? Because it has a lot of benefits. Absolutely, it has a lot of benefits. This RPA platform help us to automate the human day-to-day activities, the human repetitive activities, or the human rule-based activities, which are usually performed in any of the organization, irrespective of any organization. Basically, you can find there are any number of human activities which will perform. Those are the day-to-day activities. or those are repetitive activities, or maybe a rule-based activities. All such type of activities you can able to automate with the help of RPA technology or RPA platform. I always recommended to use the name as RPA platform instead of RPA technology, because in RPA we have different tools available, so that we always call it as RPA platform instead of RPA technology. So the main motto of RPA platform is to automate the human day-to-day activities, the human repetitive activities. You know, if you automate the human day-to-day activities or the repetitive activities or the rule-based activities, what would be the benefits? Like, what all benefits that you can see? Can somebody tell me? You can unmute yourself and you can tell me. If you automate something, what will be
Hello.
the benefits?
Hello.
Anyone? Yes,
Sir,
I
Manu
can
sir.
hear you. Yes, I can
Hello.
hear you. You can. I can
Sir,
hear you.
it will ease the operation at the same time reduce the errors caused by a human being.
Absolutely right.
There will
Absolutely
be
right.
consistency in the work.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It,
There are
as a man, he will leave the place for drinking water, urinals, and all the things. But this will continue the process 24 hours.
absolutely right. Absolutely right. Right answers from audience. We have n number of benefits once we automate such manual tasks, which are day-to-day activities or which are repetitive activities. One, two, three benefits I will highlight here, and later we will focus remaining benefits. The very first benefit, I'm talking with respect to IT background or with respect to customer point of view. The very first benefit is you can improve the productivity in the organization. Even in the college also, you can find a number of day-to-day activities, maybe a student-wise activities or faculty-wise activities or principal-wise activities. There are a number of day-to-day activities. If you automate such type of day-to-day or repetitive activities, the very first step, very first benefit is to improve your productivity. Absolutely, you can improve your productivity. Also, you can improve your accuracy, which means error free. That's what he told, which means it is an error free accuracy. You can improve the accuracy, and also you can save the time. Nowadays, the time, which means duration and the cost, is very precious. With the help of this RPA platform, you can happily save your time, cost, and also you can improve a better customer experience. So these three are the highlights of benefits of robotic process automation. Like I'm repeating, the very first benefit is you can improve the productivity. Absolutely, you can improve the productivity because it is not a human work; it is a mission work. What is a mission and all? I'll let you know after a few words. And you can improve the accuracy. Also, you can save the time, cost, and you can increase the customer experience. These three are the highlighted benefits, and remaining benefits will focus maybe after a few seconds. Right. Now, I want to give a few examples of repetitive activities, or you can also give several examples with respect to your college, maybe a student-wise or a professor-wise. Let's focus on several examples here on my screen. The very first example is about a timesheet filling. Maybe you people aware of this. You might not work for any IT organization, but you might have idea on this. A timesheet filling is a day-to-day activity, which means there is a one portal in every organization, which is called a timesheet portal, in which every associate has to enter in and out time. It is an everyday activity. It will take around 5 minutes to complete activity. So each day, an associate has to spend 5 minutes to fill the time in the timesheet portal. If it is 5 days, 5 into 5, 25 minutes. And if it is 20 days, 5 into 20 days, it's around 100 minutes. So every associate is spending 100 minutes to fill the time in the timesheet portal. It is a waste of time. I understand that it is a day-to-day activity. I understand that it is a repetitive activity. Why can't we automate this repetitive activity to improve the productivity of my work, to save my efforts, or to save my accuracy, and also the time? For that, what the IT professionals thought of here, and which is, if we automate such case of activities, absolutely we can save all this, save all this effort. So that we introduce RPA into the picture. We introduce RPA platform into the picture to automate such type of activities. Once we introduce RPA into the picture, what all we have to do here in which? Very simple. If you are a developer, we have a different roles in RPA platform. Let's say we have RPA developer, we have RPA tester, we have RPA architecture, we have RPA administrator, and many more roles. Let us consider one role here. Let's say RPA developer. What is your responsibility? You have to create a bot. You have to create a robot to automate the human day-to-day activities. Like, what is a robot or what is a bot? We used two terminologies. One is robot and one is bot. Both are same, but basically people are using that these two terminologies, robot and bot. But in IT, we have to follow a proper naming convention that is called bot. So you always create bots, you always create digital workforce to automate your human day-to-day activities. Then what is a bot? You may have a one doubt. What is a bot or what is a robot? There is no physical robot to address all your questions or to address all your activities or to automate all your day-to-day activities. There is no a physical robot. It is just a software configuration. It is just a script, or it is just a task. That's it. Basically, you people, maybe I know that you have already written C program or C++ or Java in your academic, right? A Java program. A Java program means it is a programmatic statement to perform a specific task, right? It is a programmatic statement to perform a specific task. Like the way, using any of the RPA tool, you have to create a bot. A bot is nothing but it is a specific task. It is a workflow, or it is a flow chart. It is a kind of a flow chart structure. I hope you guys aware of what is a flow chart, right? In your academic, you have seen that flow chart structures. Like, let's say there is a start, there is an end in between, a rectangle, a rhombus, all different structures, right? I hope you're aware of that. So here a bot is nothing but it is a one script, or I could say it is a one task, or I could say it is a flow chart or a workflow or a process. With the help of that bot, you can automate all your day-to-day activities. Let's say maybe a timesheet filling. You create one bot here to capture all the time and fill automatically on your timesheet portal without any human interventions. That is what automation process, right? So there is no human interventions once you automate any day-to-day activity or any repetitive activity with the help of a digital workforce or with the help of a robot or a bot. Right. Let me brief you one more example on this to understand better. You know, uh, we want to order something in Swiggy or Zomato. We want to order something on Swiggy or Zomato, right? When you open Zomato or a Swiggy, I hope you have seen that one text message stating that, "Are you a robot?" Not only this Swiggy or Zomato, maybe if you can go with Amazon or a Flipkart or any other websites, shopping cart website, e-commerce websites, there is a one text message. Okay, there is a one text message stating that, are you a robot? If you click on that checkbox, yes, which means it will robot work. Are you getting me? It is not a human task. Everything will be a robot work or a bot work, which means that if you would like to order something in Amazon or order something in Zomato or Swiggy, you can do that by creating a bot. By creating a bot, and that bot help you to order something without any human interventions. Once you schedule that bot to execute, scheduling means, let's say we are not staying at our homes. Let it be we are staying in a PG, or we are staying in a flat, in independent flat. Okay, we don't have a maid, or we don't have any way to cook something. Like, we want to order every day at 1 o'clock, at 1 o'clock afternoon, right? So to order something at 1 o'clock every day, you know what we have to do? You have to open application, and you have to search for something, and you have to apply, or you have to, there is a lot of human interventions, right? Instead of doing by you, let's do one thing: create a bot and schedule it every day at 1 o'clock. Okay, and the items, like what you want to have every day, you keep all the items in the Excel file. And after that, if you execute or if you schedule that bot, you know what will happen. Day wise, it will take your list in the Excel file, and it will automatically order either on Swiggy or Zomato, or maybe if you want, you can go with Amazon. So there is no human interventions. It will automatically order all your food items, or any gadgets from Amazon or Flipkart. There is no human intervention. That is a one example. Even you can also automate a cab booking. Maybe you can go with Ola or something else. No, without human interventions, you can also book a cab. That's what, like, there is no such type of human interventions. This bot always helping us, or helping the humans to make their life very easy without any interventions. That is the intention of RPA platform, and we brought this RPA platform into the picture to make human lives very easy. All right, let's not focus more on that. Let's come back to here. What all activities that you can able to automate using RPA platform? One is timesheet filling. Second one is mass email generation. Third one is Excel automation. Fourth one is bank account opening, PDF automation, data entry, report generation, validation of a client files, creation of test data, and so on. Maybe you have a one question on this. What is Excel automation? Like, how do you perform that Excel automation? In your college, there are plenty of day-to-day activities on Excel, right? I'm sure in every organization there are plenty of operations that you work on Excel files, right? You can automate all such type of operations with the help of bot. Maybe reading something from Excel, writing something into the Excel, comparing two Excel files, or create a pivot table, or any such type of operations you can able to automate with the help of a bot. So there is no human intervention. Once you automate, you execute that bot, it will perform all your operations. Like, what you want to perform, all such type of operations will be happen during the execution time. Next, mass email generations, maybe sending emails, replying emails, download attachments, all such type of activities you can able to automate with the help of RPA platform. I hope you understand the slide. I'm moving into next slide, in which let us talk about which work processes can be automated. By the way, we have already seen some of the basic examples. Apart from those basic examples, let us focus on application-wise examples. Let's say we have different business applications in the markets, maybe a Windows applications or a web applications, right? I want to automate several processes from Windows or web applications. For understanding, let us focus on different processes, what we have on my slide. For better understanding, let me take a very simple example. Okay, let me take a very simple example. You know, the very simple example is about website scrapping. Website scrapping. What is a website scrapping here? In which we would like to extract data from a website. It may be a regular data, or it may be a pattern data, or it may be a structured data. Okay, you don't concentrate with technical words. I'll try to enable, I will make you to understand with simplest way. What is a website scrapping? Let's say your HOD or your faculty want some data from a website. What type of data? Maybe it is a tabular data. Let's say in your college, we want to know that the student list in the Excel file, but the student list is available on website. The whole student list, maybe thousands of records or millions of records. Okay, maybe in college we have a thousands of records, right? We want to extract all the student details from websites. How do I do that? If it is a manual interventions, a human has to take one by one data from a website, and after he, he or she took the data from website, he need to keep the data into the Excel file. If it is 1,000 records, it will take 1 day or 2 days, right? Absolutely, it will take 1 day or 2 days to extract the whole data from website and to keep the data into Excel file. Instead of human, if you have created one bot, a very simple bot, it will extract the whole data which is appear on Pallavi Engineering College. The whole data, it may be a structured data, or it may be unstructured data, or it may be a pattern data, or a tabular data, or regular data. Whatever it is, the whole data you can able to extract within a short time. And after you extract, you can keep the whole data into Excel file. Instead of 2 days work, you can do this work in 15 minutes. See how much time that you can save here. Absolutely, you can save almost 46 hours, 47 hours, and also you can improve the productivity. You can work on different tasks, right? Once you have completed this task in 15 minutes, you can spend time on another task. Absolutely, you can increase your productivity. That is what website scrapping. Maybe you can go with customer order processing. In Amazon, people are order something, maybe electronic gadgets or clothes or something else, right? Uh, Amazon website receive n number of orders every day. At end of the day, the owner of Amazon or someone wants to know the total orders in a day. The total orders in a day. Definitely somebody is responsible to collect the whole data. Definitely in the Amazon organization, one of the associate is responsible to collect the whole data. In that, taking one by one order details is very difficult. That too, if it is a human task, it is absolutely very difficult, because in every day there are millions of orders, right? Millions of orders in every day. How do I get all this order details in Excel file? Writing by a human is very difficult. Like say, capturing the data from website and writing into Excel file is very difficult, right? So that here also we have to create one bot. Simply you just create one bot to collect all the order details from Amazon website, even if it is 1,000 records or 10,000 records or million records or billion records, whatever it is, it will automatically capture all the customer records and it will keep in the Excel file within a short time. That is what one example. And maybe you can go with incoming customer email querying process. You know, sometimes you might have seen whenever you send an email to somebody, okay, not on this. Let's say uh, if you go to any no servicing center, maybe a car servicing center. I'll not talk about bike servicing center. Let's go to a car servicing center. Once the servicing is done, it will you will get an email. You will get an email stating that this is your servicing details. Like there is some information. There is some information stating that this is your car details and servicing date and the cost, etc., etc., etc. All will appear. You will receive an email, right? That is what. That is a bot work. It is not a human work. That is a bot work. Understand that. And there is a one more example, like a call center operations. Whenever you trying to uh, understand something on credit card or a debit card or your a mobile phone or sim detail, something like whenever you call to understand your credit card bills or your transactions. Whenever you say that I want to know the transactions of last month. Once you mention that I want to know the transactions of my last month, you will immediately receive an email from banking or from banking, I mean banking sector, stating that this is your transaction details. That is what. There is no human to send the details. It is a bot work. Once you enter all the detail, let's say this is my name, this is what my credit card number, this is what my expiry date. Something if you have given to the customer of banking organization, that data will pass to the database. There, the bot will work and it will pull out all the details and it will send an email to you immediately. That is also a bot work. So we have, if you take any organization, irrespective of any industries, we have already implemented n number of bots, and nowadays is most of the cases or most of the area you will see bot works. 95% of the work is happening with the help of bots instead of humans. Let's say call center operations, payroll processing, form processing, client profile updates, claim processing, statement reconciliations, patient registration. Even for patient registration, usually there is a human. He or she has to take all the details, but now it is a bot work. There is no human. Onboarding process, data cleansing, or change of address processing. Change of address processing for banking, or maybe finance, or maybe other sectors. Even this also you can do with the help of bots. Like there are plenty of business processes that you can able to automate with the help of RPA. Now I'll give you an overview again with simple example. Consider an instance where you want to publish your articles on various social groups at a specific point of time every day. Simple. I would like to publish articles on various social groups at a specific point of time every day. To do this, we have two options. One is you can appoint an employee to do the same job, or else you can do it manually yourself. Like we have two ways. Let's say if you have appointed an employee to do the same job, definitely this would cost you a lot because you have to pay salary every month, right? Also, it would be a tiresome for that employee, isn't it or not? Because human cannot work 24 by 7. Absolutely, he cannot work 24 by 7. Definitely, he would be tiresome, isn't it or not? Also, this would cost you a lot because you have to pay salary every month. Instead of appointing an employee, you can do it manually yourself, but you have to spend a lot of time. You have to sit and you have to do it manually, and you should spend a lot of time. So instead of doing by yourself, or instead of appointing an employee, better you just create a bot, or you could just configure a software robot to interpret the human actions and imitate all your activities. So here I could suggest to create a bot to publish all your articles every day at the mentioned time. That would not only cost you less, but also would be less tiresome, because it is not a human work, it is a bot work, it is a software robot work. It will not be tiresome. It will work 24 by 7. So finally, what I could say, the definition of RPA here it is mimicking the human actions to perform a sequence of steps that lead to a meaningful activity without any human interventions is known as robotic process automation. I'll elaborate this. What is mimicking human actions and all, I'll elaborate it. Just try to focus the definition. If someone asks you, what is robotic process automation? What do you say? Simple. It is always mimic the human actions to perform a sequence of steps that lead to a meaningful activity without any human interventions is known as robotic process automation. Now, let me elaborate this. If you divide this into three terms, one is automation, second one is process, and third one is robotic. And what is automation? This is a pretty simple to everybody and it is familiar to everyone, right? What is automation here? It is a sequence of steps which are performed without any human interventions once you configure a software robot or a software script. That's it. There is no human interventions once you configure a software bot or a software script. All the sequence of steps which will work automatically without any human intervention. That is called automation, right? The next one is a process. Now, what is a process here? It is also similar to automation, but slight change. A process means it is also a sequence of steps. It is also a sequence of meaningful activities which lead or which make up a process. Or I could say it is a sequence of steps which lead to a meaningful activities. For example, the process of making tea or the process of making your favorite dish. Now, if you want to prepare a dish, you have to follow a process, right? Otherwise, the outcome of your dish will not be tasty. Am I correct or not? Even for tea also, you have to follow a process, not only for making tea or not only for making a favorite dish. You can take any of the activity. You should be follow a sequence of steps. Then only the outcome of your activity will be meaningful and the outcome of activity will be perfect, right? And the next one is robotic, which means it will always mimic the human user same way as a human does. Exact same as clicks, navigations, typing, and etc. I'll elaborate again. Mimicking a human user same way as a human does. What is this? How the robot will mimic a human user? Basically, if you would like to work on any Windows application or any web-based application, there are plenty of elements, right? What all plenty of elements or objects we have on any of the Windows or web applications. Let's say if you go with Gmail, basically what all steps you have to be follow. The very first step is launch Gmail application. Then second step is enter username, password, then click on login button. Then third step is compose a mail to somebody. Or fourth step is read email from your inbox. Fifth step is like delete either single mail or multiple mails which are not important. And the sixth step is logout, right? And the seventh step is close. So this is a general activity general activities that you will perform on Gmail application, right? You know, in this all the steps, what all operations that you have performed. One is launch browser, enter some input values to the text boxes, clicking buttons, navigating from one page to another page, sending emails, deleting emails, download attachments, all such type of activities you can do once you have created a bot. So the bot will automatically launch your Gmail application. The bot will enter your input details, let's say username, password, and clicking on login button. The bot will send an email to somebody. The bot will delete a single mail or a multiple mails. The bot will download your attachment. All such type of human activities it will mimic with the help of your robot once you have configured. That is what mimicking a human user, same way as a human does. How exactly you perform several operations on either a Windows application or a web application, exactly in a similar way your bot will work. That is called mimic a human user, same way as a human does. I hope you understand that. If you have any questions, you may post your questions towards end of the session, slide by slide. I'll open all the slides once again once we're done with this. Next one, we have different ways to define it. We have different ways, like we have around 10 to 15 ways to define the definition of RPA. Already we have seen two ways, right? If you want to see multiple ways, you can follow all these different definitions. Let's say maybe one more short and sweet definition, that is the process of automating business operations with the help of robots to reduce human intervention is said to be robotic process automation. That is also one way to define it. So we have a multiple ways to define. I'll not concentrate all the ways. Now let us focus with the benefits of RPA. I have taken 10 benefits here, but not only this 10 benefits, we have multiple benefits, n number of benefits, plenty of benefits once you brought RPA into the picture. Even in your college also, you can create multiple bots to save your time or to improve your productivity. We have just identify what all day-to-day activities in the college, maybe a faculty way or a student way. Just identify what all different day-to-day activities and try to develop a bot to automate such type of activities. Absolutely, it will improve your productivity by 30 to 40 percentage. And also you can improve the customer experience by 40 to 50 percentage. Also, you can reduce in average handling time by 20 to 30 percentage, and you can reduce human errors, which means you will get 100% accuracy, efficiency, and reliability. And it will give you a high scalability, flexibility. It will give you a high scalability and flexibility, and harness artificial intelligence with 70 percentage of end-to-end automation within 4 weeks. And it will give you a high volume repeated task like data entry, copying data, pasting data from one Excel to another Excel, or one Word document to another Word document, or from one notepad to another notepad, or from one database to another database. Also, robots can work across multiple platforms like Windows platform, web platform, Java platform, and mainframe applications. It is not like a human. Human can work on either 2 or 3 platforms because human cannot understand or cannot have a hands-on experience on multiple platforms. Maximum 2 to 3 platforms, but robots can work on multiple platforms. It can also work 24 by 7 and do not take time off. I mean, there is no a concept of time off because it is a human, because it is a a mission work, a bot work. So there is no leave for bot. It will work 24 by 7 and it cannot make any mistakes like human. So these are the different benefits we have once you brought RPA into the picture, but mainly focus on 5 to 6 benefits. Let's say you can improve productivity by 30 to 40 percentage. How do you compare to say the productivity is increased by 30 to 40 percentage? Basically, in the organizations, we have a one concept to call FTE calculations, full-time employee calculations. Let's say, let's take one simple example. There are 10 associates who are working on one end-to-end process. I mean, they are creating a process. They are creating or they are developing an end-to-end process. An end-to-end process. Let's take a 10 associates. To develop an end-to-end process, maybe they will take 10 days of time and they will take maybe a $50 to complete that particular task. 10 days, 10 associates and 50 US dollars they are spending to complete one end-to-end process, right? The same process can be done or the same process can be completed within a short time by introducing robots or by introducing bots. Let's say instead of taking 10 humans, let us create 2 bots, only 2 bots, enough. These 2 bots will complete the same task within a short time. Maybe in one day you can close the task with less budget. Maybe they have taken $50. Maybe you can take $5. Now, if you compare these two, humans are high, duration is high, also the budget is high. When you compare with the bots, that's the reason. Absolutely, what I could say, you can save your time, you can save your uh, budget, and also you can improve your productivity. So with the help of FTE calculations, you can highlight all these points. Let's say you can improve productivity by 30 to 40 percentage. You can improve customer experience by 50 percentage. You can reduce in average handling time by 20 to 30 percentage. You can reduce human errors. It will give you 100% accuracy, efficiency, flexibility, and scalability. And you can release the watch or you can release the application quickly to the customers. So we have n number of benefits once we brought RPA into the picture. The next one, we'll talk about the limitations. What all different limitations we have with this. We already understand several benefits. Also, we have 2 to 3 limitations with RPA. However, these limitations will be addressed maybe in the next few years down the line. So let us focus with 1 or 2 limitations. I'll not concentrate with all the limitations. Let us focus with 1 or 2 limitations. One is the working speed of the bot is always limited to the speed of the application. Now, what is that? The working speed of the bot is always limited to the speed of the application. Generally, the speed of the application is always depends on the bandwidth, depends on the internet bandwidth, depends on the network bandwidth, but not depends on the bot. Are you getting me? So, if you would like to download an attachment from Gmail, if the file have a huge size, let's say if it is a 10 MB or 20 MB or 30 MB or 100 MB, to download that 100 MB file, it will take a maximum of 2 minutes or 3 minutes, right? If the network bandwidth is good, hardly it will take 1 minute to 2 minutes. If the network bandwidth is not good, it is a poor bandwidth now. How much time it will take? Maybe 10 minutes, correct? See, downloading speed is depends on the network bandwidth only, but not depends on the bot. Now, already we understand that you can create a bot to launch a Gmail application, to launch another applications. After you launch, you can log into your applications, you can read the emails, you can delete the emails, you can send the emails, you can reply to somebody, you can reply all to somebody, or you can download an attachment. All you can do it right with the help of a bot. But once you configure the bot, it will not increase the speed of the application. It is always limited to the speed of the application. Please note it down. And the second one is, even minor changes to the application will need the robots to be reconfigured. Are you getting me? Even minor changes to the application. Let's say there is a small change that you have done, maybe a spelling. Even though you will need the robot to be reconfigured, that is also a limitation. So we have one or two limitations, and these two limitations also will be addressed within the next few years down the line. And the goal of RPA already we have discussed, no need to discuss once again. And I'll talk about the evaluation of RPA. According to the McKinsey reports, it is a reputed survey organization which is based out of US. According to that McKinsey report, will have a potential economic impact of nearly $10 trillion by 2025. That's what I told you. The scope of RPA is absolutely fine the next 10 years down the line. You can survive happily 10 to 15 years in IT industry on RPA platform. So according to this McKinsey report, will have a potential economic impact of nearly 10 to 15 trillion dollars by 2025. Also, this RPA implement in 3D printing, cloud technology, and automation vehicles in the future. Let us wait for a couple of years to see RPA on all these areas. Let's say 3D printing, cloud platform, and automation vehicles. Hope you understand this slide. Let's move into the next slide in which we'll talk about how does robotic process automation work. It is just a glimpse of idea to understand how robotic process automation work. You know, RPA robots are capable of mimicking many, if not most, human user actions. They can log into applications, move files or folders from one place to another place, copy data and paste same data into one file to another file, enter data into registration forms or any other forms, extracting structured data or semi-structured data or pattern data or regular data either from PDF or from web applications. Or you can able to read a text from images. Let's say sometimes there is a text which is applicable, which is available on the images, right? Or I want to read data from a PDF. Let's say if you go with several PDF, okay, for understanding, you know, there are invoices PDF, right? Even in your college also, there are plenty of invoices PDF, right? End of the day, your chairman or your principal or somebody may ask a question to you. I want to see the complete details of all the invoices which are there in our college. You know, you might have 100 PDF. Just assume that, okay, we have 100 PDF. Giving that all the 100 PDF to your customer, to your principal or a chairman, it is not a best practice, right? Because chairman doesn't want to see a PDF data. Open one by one is very difficult to him, and he don't want to see the data in PDF format. Then what I supposed to do here? How I can make my chairman to understand easily? What is the best practice here? What I supposed to do here? Very simple. Do one thing. extract the PDF data, whatever we have in the PDF. It may be a structured data or a semi-structured data or a pattern data or a regular data. Okay, let me give you a brief idea on this.
Or a structured data or a pattern data or a regular data.
Let me give you a simple example on pattern data, tabular data, regular data. Structured data, which means it is a pattern data, which is called a pattern data here, or which is called a structured data here. If you open a website, let's say e-commerce website, Amazon website, in this Amazon, Flipkart, or other e-commerce website, you could see a pattern data. If you search for any electronic gadgets or anything, not only electronic gadgets, if you search for something in the text box, let's say I want to search for iPhone, you enter iPhone in the text field of Amazon, then click on search button. You will see all the list of iPhones, right? That all the list of iPhones will be appear in the form of structured data or in the form of a pattern data. Let's say, how could I say it is a structured data? The data, how it will be. The very first one is name of the phone. Second column is price of the phone. Third column is description of the phone. Fifth column is features of the phone. And sixth column is ratings. Every mobile phone data will be displayed in the same pattern. Are you getting me? If you see 10 mobiles in the page, 10 or 50 mobiles, let it be the count, or 5 mobiles, all these 5 mobiles data will be displayed in a structured format. The first column is mobile phone, second column is color of the phone, third column is price of the phone, fourth column is description of the phone, fifth column is ratings of the phone, and seventh column is something else. But every phone data will be displayed in a structured way. That is called structured data, or I could say pattern data. If it is a regular data, it is not in that. It is general. If you take any website, you could see the regular data. Then maybe if you open Gmail or even Pallavi Engineering College website, you could see the regular data. Most of the places you could see the regular data. There is no such kind of structured way. Normal data. That's it. Then what is a tabular data? A tabular data means which contains rows and columns. That's it. Which contains rows and columns. If you have any table in the Pallavi Engineering College website, table data, you can extract that data. Now, if you go with the PDF, even in the PDF also we have several structured data. We have sometimes regular data, or we have sometimes semi-structured data. Such kind of data you can able to extract from all 100 PDF, and all such data you can keep it in one single Excel file. Now, once you kept all the data in single Excel file, you can share that Excel file to your chairman. Now the chairman can easily read the complete data from Excel file. He can easily understand that the data what we have in the Excel file. I mean, instead of referring all 100 different PDF files, he can refer only a single Excel file to understand the whole data. That's it. That is a way usually people will do. Even not only here in the college, if you go to customer websites, any of the customer website, there are huge invoices copies. There are huge PDF data. That all the PDF data you have to extract, keep it in Excel file to make or to enable the end user to understand easy. That's it. Okay. So what all steps to be followed when you involve or when you brought RPA into the picture? So your bot will launch your application. Your bot will log into your application. Your bot will copy the data from one file to another file, and it will move a folder or a file from one place to another place. It will read the data from database, or it will read the data from Excel file. It will read the data from PDF. It will read the data from images. We have multiple files to read the data. Not only read, even you can write the data into all this uh, files, maybe Excel or uh, Word document or PDF or anything. So like all such type of operations that you can do with the help of RPA. Next, I hope you understand this. Let's move into the next slide. Maybe in 10 to 15 minutes, we can close this call. The next slide will talk about RPA and test automation. Most of the people are getting confused. The difference of test automation and robotic process automation. I hope most of you people are aware of test automation tools. We have Selenium. It is an open source tool, right? You guys, I hope you're aware of it, right? Selenium test automation tool. Then maybe you heard about load runner. Maybe you heard about UFT. But I think you are familiar with Selenium, right? Selenium is a test automation tool which can help you to test something on the application. It is also an automation tool. See, why do I differentiate these two here? Because conceptually, these two processes are similar as they both involve automation and offer same advantage of reducing manual interventions and delivering high quality product to the customer. However, these two are different. Absolutely, these two are different. How these two are different. Let's say if I go with Selenium tool, we can automate your application, which means our intention is always to test something from the application. It may be a functionality or it may be a non-functionality or it may be a web services or anything. We always ensure that the functionality or non-functionality is working with respect to the customer requirement. That is what the functionality of test automation does. But in RPA, we are not testing anything. We are automating an end-to-end business processes. I'm sorry. We are automating an end-to-end business processes such as data entries, queries, calculations, and transactions, and various organizations like banking organizations, insurance organizations, healthcare, ERP, with the help of several RPA tools which are available in the market. We have different RPA tools available in the market. Let's say there are many 20 to 30 RPA tools available in the market, but I will not say all the tools. Let me go with few tools in the slide. One is Blue Prism, second one is Automation Anywhere, UiPath, Nice, Pega, Workvision, Redwood, Contexted, Softomotive, and Cofax. These are the leading RPA tools which are available in the market, and most of the organizations are working on either Blue Prism, Automation Anywhere, UiPath, Workvision, or Cofax. These are the leading RPA tools. Blue Prism, Automation Anywhere, UiPath, Cofax, and Workvision. Right. Next one is where we can implement RPA. As I told you previously, it is not restricted to only one industry. It is open to everyone. RPA is used in various kinds of industries to help humans to automate their work and simultaneously speed up the work in the scaling industry. You can happily introduce RPA into healthcare industry, HR industry, telecom, insurance, retail industry, and travel and logistics industry. Not only this, I kept only few names here. I'm sorry. You can take any of the industry, any of the industry. If it is healthcare, there are plenty of end-to-end business processes that you can able to automate. Maybe registration of patients, it is a human task. Maintaining the records of patients, it is also a human task. Just two examples have given. Apart from these two examples, you can take multiple processes and you can automate those all the processes in the healthcare industry. Similarly, HR industry. Similarly, telecom industry, insurance, retail, travel and logistics. If it is HR industries, let's say joining formalities of a new employee. This is a human task, right? Joining formalities of a new employee is a human task. Basically, HR will perform. Even process of payrolls. This is also HR will perform. Not only these two, there are plenty of processes that will perform by a HR. That too, that is a day-to-day activities or a repetitive activities. That all are human tasks. All such type of human tasks that you can able to automate with the help of a bot. Maybe you can see travel and logistics, right? Booking of tickets, maintaining passenger details, even these such type of activities or the processes that you can able to automate with the help of bot. Next, this is already we have discussed in my previous slide. And after that, the differences among all the tools is not required to you guys because you don't have much idea on this, all the RPA tools. But I'll give you a glimpse of idea on this, the comparison of all the leading tools. We have three leading tools in the market. Basically, you can either you can go with UiPath, Automation Anywhere, and Blue Prism. All these leading tools will do the same functionality. There is no difference in functionality wise, only features wise we have several differences. What is the difference in terms of features? No, the features wise difference is this Automation Anywhere, UiPath, Blue Prism will automate front office operations as well back office operations. Let's say I'll not focus with the technical words. Let's focus on what all back office operations and front office operations. A back office operations means it doesn't require any human interventions. To do this back office operations, we require unattended bots, which means it doesn't require any human interventions. Like once you create a bot, just to schedule the bot, it will execute as per your scheduled time without any human interventions. That is called back office operations, automations. To do that, we required back office robots or I could say unattended bots. Similarly, you can also automate a front office operations where you should have a front office robots or I could say attended bots. But here, human interventions are required, which are agent assistant. Let's take one example: a call center. If you make a call to call center, there is a one representative will respond to your basic queries, right? After that, after you say all the queries to the representative, that queries will pass it to the bot. He or she will not respond to you. All your queries will pass to the bot, will pass it to the bot, and after that, the bot will respond to you. That is called the front office operations. There, the human interventions are required. I'll give you a very simple example for back office automation. Maybe a timesheet entry, what we have discussed previously is a back office automation. Invoice automation, that is what PDF invoices. That is also back office automation. It doesn't require any human interventions. Even email automations, monthly billing, hiring process. See, we have a multiple back office operations. Every day you just do one thing: identify the day-to-day activities. Simple. Identify the day-to-day activities which are performed by you in your daily life. That's it. In your daily life, not with respect to any organization. Just to identify what all day-to-day activities that you perform in your daily life. Just note down all the day-to-day activities. Once you jot down all the day-to-day activities, later you just create a bot to automate all such type of activity within a less span of time. That's it. And this is all about front office automation. Here the human interventions are required. Let's say, for understanding payment automation. I want to pay my credit card bill. Most of the case you can do without a human interventions. But when you are getting an OTP, absolutely will get an OTP, right, to enter manually. So that is what an front office automation. Except that entering OTP to that site, rest of all you can do without any human intervention. But here the human interventions coming into the picture. That's why I could say it is a front office automation. Outlook login automation, payment automation, credit card and debit card payments, meeting schedule based on user input. This meeting schedule have created by one of the faculty of your college, right? The same task you can do it with the help of a bot. Just to create a one bot, and after that, for the next meeting, before you execute that bot, change the subject line. That's it. Change the subject line and date every time. So that all inputs you have to keep it in somewhere. Basically, we need to keep all the details in Excel file before you execute the bot. That's it. So this kind of activities also you can do with the help of, scheduling a meeting call can also be done with the help of bots. So nowadays, is most of the processes are automating with the help of RPA platform to make human life easy, to make customer better experience, or to improve the productivity, or to improve the accuracy, or to save the cost, time, and many uh, benefits. Then what is a RPA lifecycle? I'll not focus fully on this. Let us brief. Let me brief on this RPA lifecycle. One is we have different stages in RPA lifecycle. Once you enter into RPA platform, you will come to know. We have six different stages. One is assessment stage. Second one is design stage. Third one is implementation stage. Fourth one is testing stage. Fifth one is production stage, and finally maintenance stage. In assessment stage, you just gather the requirements and prepare cost benefit analysis, which means gather the human task, gather the human day-to-day activities what we have in the application. After you gather all the requirements, then prepare FT calculations. That's it. And then later design stage, in which you have to design a document which contains all the flowcharts, like what to do, what are steps to be followed, who will perform this, all the steps. Everything will keep in the design document, and later we'll go with implementation stage. Here the developer will create the bots based on the design documents. Once the bots have created, it will move into the testing environment where RPA testers will test the bots whether the bots are working correct or not. If it works fine, if it works fine, will be moved into production, in which we will keep all the bots in the live environment. Once you put this in the live environment, all your end-to-end business processes will be automated based on your scheduled time. That's it. That is the concept of RPA lifecycle. And finally, maintenance stage. Once we kept all the boards on live environment, we need to maintain in the maintenance stage. Like if any fault, or if anything happened to a board, we should be responsible to address the issues, what all happened during what will happen in the live environment. That's it. That is called maintenance stage. All right, we are done with this presentation, and the forum is open to all of you. You can post your questions in the chat. You can directly speak to me. I'll address all your questions. Okay, before I take the questions, let me ask a quick question to all of you. How many of you understand the presentation, like what we have discussed so far? Is that clear? Is that informative concept to you? So I want quick responses from the audience.
Thank you, sir. Participants, if you have any questions, you can post in the chat box, or else unmute yourself and you can ask the questions.
So I have almost simplified the content for especially to understand people who are into engineering backgrounds. So this content is not to IT professionals. I have simplified most of the content to enable all the engineering background students to understand the scope of RPA.
Thank you, sir. Participants, if you have any questions, you can ask, or else you can post your question in chat box.
Okay, thank you so much. All the participants' responses are positive, but no questions I could see.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Be online, sir. Participants, the feedback link is shared in the chat box. Please give your valuable feedback to improve
Hey,
us.
okay, before we wind up this call, at least I want to see few questions because there are 100 participants have attended this
Yes, sir.
call. I want to see at least a few questions. Unless and until I don't think so that you have understand all the inputs whatever I have discussed. I want to see at least 10 questions from you. That is a best practice when you have attended for any session. Not only this, I don't think so that you have understand all the concept that you are college background. You should ask at least few questions, at least 10 questions I want from you guys. Rupa Kumar, please encourage your student to post their questions in the chat window.
Yes, sir. There might be they are saying that it will be very much simply understandable in a very nice manner you have explained. So
Okay.
and a good suggestion, good feedback. We got good compliment that it was very much informative. So participants, please share your post your questions in the chat box, or else you
I'll wait
can.
2 more minutes. No, no, I'll
Yeah,
wait for 2 more minutes, Rupa Kumar. Let's encourage all the audience.
yeah, sure, sure.
I want to see at least 5 questions from you guys. At least 5 questions. Definitely that information I will forward to Rupa Kumar. Maybe he will send it to you later. That's okay. That this
This,
part,
yeah,
the recording, he will take care of that. I want,
yeah. We got a
technical
question,
question.
sir. Yeah, how
Yes.
robotics is helpful in automobile industry?
See, a very good question, Vishal. How robotics? Just a moment. How robotics is helpful in automobile industry? Now, I want to see a couple of concepts from you here. What is automobile industry? The very first question to you. I know what is automobile industry, but I want to see whether you have an idea on this. What is automobile industry, and what kind of processes we have in the automobile industry? That is, I want you first. Later, we'll discuss how it will helpful in automobile industry. Okay, so there is a one more question. If RPA is used so robustly, then won't it affect a man employment in the long term? Absolutely, Saimut, I agree with your point. Definitely, it will impact. It will impact the human employment. But at the end of the day, you should think one thing. That is what we want to save the time. We want to save the budget of the project. We want to improve productivity. Also, we want to make the customer happy on our work. So that if you don't have a skills, let's say, uh, assume that if I don't have a skills on any of the technology, then there is no point of appointing me for any industry, right? Whenever you have a huge skills on any of the platform, then only you will be survive. Unless and until it will not survive, right? So that is you have to be focused, but don't focus on this manual employment. Absolutely, I agree. Not only me or you, everybody can agree with that. But the thing is, let's say, to summarize this, let's go with another example. Some time back, maybe uh, one decade back, one decade back, if you want to withdraw money, if you want to withdraw money, or if you want to deposit money, you have to go bank and you have to do all such type of activity. But now, do we have such type of scenario? No, everything you can do with the help of mobile. In that case, also definitely there is a less chance of getting a job in banking sector, which means it will affect a human employment with respect to banking sector, right? Are you agree with that? If you are thinking about the effect of human employee, you cannot see the technology of the technology of operations, like whatever you do in your mobile, you can't see that. You can't see that operations. Every time you have to go bank only. Even in 2030 or 2050, you have to go bank and you have to do all the operations manually. You can't see the technology. You can't see, or you can't make it yourself to perform operations easily. That's what I could say. All I want is we want to improve the productivity, accuracy, budget save, cost save, customer satisfaction. All it is important, not this human employment. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, sir. We got one more question.
Okay.
Yeah, since many human involvement works will be replaced by robots, what is the solution? And that means employability will be reduces by this robot. Uh,
Absolutely, it will
uh,
reduce. Absolutely, it will reduce. Yeah. Absolutely, it will reduce. I
okay.
agree with that. But the thing is, end of the day, you don't think that employment. You have to think about activity. You have to think about budget save. You have to think about cost save. You have to think about customer satisfaction.
Okay. Thank
It's
you,
not
sir.
only on robots. It is not only on robots. You can take any of the platform. Maybe if you can go with Selenium, or if you can go with this WebEx call is also will reduce employment. Human employment. Way, which means like everywhere you could see the online classes, right? Instead of appointing multiple employees, one employee is enough to handle online classes now.
Right,
That is
sir.
what we want to see, the technology. We don't want to see the human employment. We want to see the technology. That is what I could say.
Right. So one more question: how to start career in RPA field, and what about RPA certification? I merged two questions, sir. Please answer about it.
Okay, how to start RPA, RPA, how to start or how to begin RPA platform, right? So to begin with RPA, first of all, you have to explore the concept of RPA, what we have. So there is no such prerequisites to begin with RPA. Okay, no need to have huge skills on uh, other technologies. If you are from IT background, maybe CSC or electronics, you might have written C++,
Hello.
Java programs in your academic career, right? With that knowledge, with that enough knowledge, or with that knowledge, you can start exploring the concept of RPA in internet. What is RPA? Just take a 5 days of time to understand the concept of RPA first. You just explore in internet, and you just explore in Google, just explore in YouTube. Just try to understand what type of scenarios that you can able to automate. After you understand the platform of RPA, select one of the tools. We have leading tools in the market, UiPath, um, Automation Anywhere, and Blue Prism. Just understand what exactly the differences we have among these three tools. Based on that, you can select any of the tool. I'll not recommend to go with only one specific tool, because every tool will do the same thing at end of the day. Okay, you can select any of the tool, and after that,
Gautam
then
sir.
then
Hello.
start learning one specific tool.
Gautam
Maybe
sir.
you will get a lot of questions and all
Please share your
during
contact details, sir.
during. Yeah, there is a uh, somebody speaking, the certifications, like we have certifications on every RPA tool, that all the information I will forward to Rupakumar after this call.
Yeah, participants, the material
Hello.
which was shown in the class will be shared in the WhatsApp group. You can later on you can download it, and the class what the content which we discussed in the class also recorded and will be shared the drive link in the group. You can download it later on. And so one more question: what are the free open source softwares we have to practice RPA and recent
Okay.
innovations in RPA platform?
So there is a one, there is no a free of cost tool available in the market. Okay, there is no, every tool is a commercial tool. We don't have open source tool in the market. That is a one, bad, or there is a one, what I could say, negative of all the RPA tools. But there is an alternate way to practice. We have a community versions of all these tools. We have a community versions. There is no open source tool. Just to point out, there is no open source tool for any of the RPA tool. There is no free of cost. But there is a one chance you can go ahead with the community versions of all these tools. In the community versions, for hands-on, you can take the functionalities what we have in the community edition, but all those functionalities are limited when you compare with licensed version. Let's say, let us understand, the licensed version will have 100 features. Just assume that the licensed version may have 100 features. If you go with the community edition, you may have 80 features. Like 20 features are limited, or 25 features are limited, but hands-on you can go ahead with a community edition. Maybe you can go with Blue Prism community edition, or you can go with UiPath community edition, or you can go with Automation Anywhere community edition. For practice purpose, you can go, but there are several features are limited. That is, you have to keep it in mind. Hope I have given the answer to this question.
Mane sir, can you share
Your words are missing. Like I cannot. No, it's breaking. I cannot understand. Rupakumar, take the question. Yeah, please.
can the faculty's contact details be with us, sir?
Yes, sir. I have a resource person contact details. If you want, I'll share it in the personal way. Okay. It's difficult to share in the open platform. We'll share it personally if you want anything related to the resource person. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Right.
I have given the answer. Rupakumar will wind up this call. This question.
Okay. Yeah.
I think.
Mane sir, can you
you have to understand the concept what we have discussed so far. If you have any further questions, please take the questions from the audience and forward to me. I cannot understand. Okay. Rupakumar, take the question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just last question. Will
can the faculty's contact details be with us, sir?
Yes, sir. The details are. Yes, sir. I have a resource person contact details. If you want, I'll share it in the personal way. Okay. It's difficult to share in the open platform. We'll share it personally if you want anything related to the resource person. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Right.
I have given the answer. Rupakumar will wind up this call. This question.
Okay. Yeah.
I think.
Mane sir, can
you have to understand the concept what we have discussed so far. If you have any further question.
Well,
shall we wind up this call?
yes, sir. Just a second. Yeah, we'll wind up the session in another 1 minute. Hello.
Okay, so
hello.
So we'll wind up this. Yeah, Rupakumar.
Yeah, can you
wind
hear
up
me,
this
sir?
call.
Yeah. Thank
We'll
you.
wind up.
Yeah, thank you, participants. Thank you for joining with us. We have registered. We have participants from all over India. There are participants all over the states, and there are more than 465 participants are registered and joined in WebEx and YouTube live streaming. Thank you very much for your enthusiastic response for this robotic process automation webinar. And I thank our resource person, Mr. Gautam Mani, a lead RPA consultant. Thank you very much, sir, for coming here and spending your valuable time with us. And thank you once again. I thank all the management and head of the department of EC, Dr. Epsiva Madam, and our faculty members, especially resource person, Mr. Gautam Mani, for accepting our invitation and coming here and for delivering a wonderful session on RPA. Thank you very much. Thank you, one and all. Thank you. Gautam, sir, yeah, you can leave the session now. Hello? 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 Thank you, participants. We can leave your class now. Thank you. The session will going to end now.
మ్యాంగో పచ్చడి చేయాలంట అక్కకు. డాడీ ఒక మ్యాంగో పచ్చడి తీయాలంట. డాడీ 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 అక్కకు మ్యాంగో పచ్చడి తీయాలంట. గిన్నెలో లేదో.
సార్ అయిపోయింది. నేను లింక్ షేర్ చేస్తున్నా. వస్తుందా ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ లింక్? నాకు అర్థం కావట్లేదు. వాళ్ళు ఇంకా ఫీడ్బ్యాక్ లింక్ అంటారు. నేను యూట్యూబ్లోనే ఆన్ చేసిన. యూట్యూబ్లోనే సిస్టంలోనే ఆన్ చేసి చేసిన ఇప్పుడే. టైం పడుతుంది సార్. కాదు, కింద కింద మీరు మీ దాంట్లో పాసిబిలిటీ లేదా? ఓ మై గాడ్. స్క్రీన్ ఎండ్ చేసిన, ఓపీఎస్ ఇంకా ఆఫ్ చేయలేకపోతే. అవునా, నేను ఓబిఎస్లో స్టాప్ స్ట్రీమింగ్ కొట్టొచ్చా?